to work on a macrame project today, and I haven't done macrame for about 45 to 50 years. So I did one earlier, and I thought I would just tackle this project, and Tobie gave me a beautiful piece of driftwood that is very smooth, had absolutely no snags in it. So I started by I cut 13 pieces of cord 100 inches long, and then I tied one on to be my hanger for the support, and then I had 12 cords that I needed to tie onto the driftwood, and I used a lark's head knot to do that with. Very easy. And I will tell you that this project didn't turn out as I wanted because it's been so long. I made some beginner's errors because I am beginning all over again. So hopefully you'll learn from my lessons, and I'm actually going to put together separate tutorials to show each knot that will make it easier for everybody for the future. So as you can see, I folded the cord in half, put it over behind the driftwood, and then I put my 2 cords through the center, and then I just tightened it up. So after I got them all tied on, I'm going to start by tying a square knot. I'm going to do a row of square knots straight across. And you do that by using the first 4 cords. The cord on the right is going to go over the 2 in front and behind the one on the left. And the one on the left is going to go through the loop that was made with the first cord. I hope you can see that. If you watch it, you'll pick it up. And then you repeat it going the opposite direction, and that makes a square knot. And I'll do that going all the way across with all of the cords. See, the cord on the left is going to go through that loop. And you repeat it going the same different direction next time. Take your left hand cord over top of the 2 in the middle, behind the one on the right, and then you put the one on the right through the loop. And it's important to keep your cords straight. You don't want them to twist and turn. kind of taking my time here so you can see over and over again how it's done if you're new to this. And this is really a good beginner's project because it's mainly square knots and double half hitches. And we'll speed it up as we get going. Now I'm starting the next row, and I'm not going to use the first 2 cords because I'm going to create a V-shaped pattern, but I'm going to do the same square knots for the next row, and when I end I'll have 2 cords that I will not be using as well. So on this row we're eliminating the first 2 and the last 2. Now the next row, we're going to eliminate the next 2, and we're going to start with the next 4 cords to make our square knots. So now you can begin to see how the V shape is starting to take place. And I'm showing you that we're using 2 from each of the previous square knots. It gives that diamond shaped pattern, which is really pretty. So we're going to continue until we have 4 cords left at the end. And each time we move in, we're going to move in 2 cords. So we're doing the last one in the middle to finish off our, well, it looks like I've got 2 more to do. Yeah. Now we're going to finish off the middle with the 2 on the left and 2 on the right. And that gives us that pretty V shape. Now I'm going to use the first cord as an anchor, and I'm going to make double half hitch knots following the V of the double knots. It will just frame it in really pretty. And you're going to do it twice. Hence, double half hitch. You're going to do that all the way till you get to the middle. I'm going to have to see if I can find pictures of any of my previous macrame works. Let's see if I can come up with that. Now I'm going to do the same thing starting on the other side. Your outside cord becomes the anchor, and then you tie all the other cords around it until you get down to the V shape. Tie them off in the middle, same way using your double half hitch. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take 4 cords on the left and 4 cords on the right, one at a time. You're going to take the 4 cords on the left and you're going to tie a square knot about a half an inch or so down from where you started. Each one is going to be just below the previous one. Again, following that V pattern, pick up the next 2. You're going to do your square knot, and then you're going to come up to just below the one that you just finished. Start from the other side, and you want to make sure that your square knots are even with each other. I'm just not face on, so it doesn't look quite even, but it is. It was. Anyway, and then you'll continue with your square knots. Created that V pattern. Now you're going to make 1 square knot using the 4 on the left, and you're going to line it up with the bottom of the V. Going to do the same thing on the other side. So the bottom of the V and these individual square knots should line up. Now you start with 2 cords that are in the middle, and you're going to tie, and you're going to take 2 cords to the left of that, and you're going to tie another square knot. And what's going to happen is you are going to end up creating an X by doing this. So again, I started with the 2 cords to the left of the middle, started with 2 cords to the left of the middle, and then I went with 2 to the left of that. And I did the same thing. I started with the 2 cords that were left in the middle, and I went 2 cords to the right and started my square knots. And again, that creates that X pattern. take my middle two pieces, and the one on the right will be my anchor, and I'm going to make a row of double half hitch knots till there's only 6 cords left, because I do not want to tie the last 6 cords. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. I'm going to use my cord as the anchor, and then I'm going to tie all the others onto it with a double half hitch till there are 6 cords remaining that will not be used. And what we're going to do here is we're going to create a diamond pattern. Now that I got that done, I'm going to take the middle 4 and I'm going to make a square knot, one individual square knot. And then below that, I'm going to do 2 square knots. And then below the 2, I'm going to do a single square knot, and that creates a diamond. Now I'm going to pick up my anchor cord again, and I'm going to tie on double half hitch knots to complete that diamond pattern. I'm going to do that to the middle, coming from one side, then I'll pick up the anchor cord from the other side, tie on the cords from there till they come together. Now I got my diamond pattern. Now I'm not using the first 2 cords. I'm going to pick up the next 4 and I'm going to make a row of square knots, and they're going to come down in that same V pattern, which will complete the diamond pattern of square knots. Then you want to repeat that on the other side. Do not use the first 2. Pick up the next 4 and then do a row of square knots following the same line. Now I eliminate the first 6, and then I pick up my cord that I'm going to use as my anchor, and I'm going to make a row of double half hitch knots. And that will complete the V shape. I'm going to do the same thing coming in from the other side. So when you're all done, you can trim up the bottom however you want. You can trim it even. You can leave the ends uneven. You can comb it out. And there's a lot of things you can do. I like the combed out look. It just looks really pretty to me. And unfortunately, I didn't get to record how to stiffen it, but I will do that in a separate so that you'll be able to see how that's done, because the cords do want to twist back, and keeping them straight can be difficult. I use binder clips to add weight to the bottom to help keep it from twisting back up while I comb everything out. But this is my project for this time. Keep watching because I'm going to have another one that will end up being better. And until next time, make it a gorgeous day every day. Bye.